What is poppin' squad? It's your boy Jesimein, and today I'm gonna be discussing my first impressions, aka my first thoughts on the new expedition mode that came up with the new update. Now, for the people who like PvP, I know this isn't for you really, other than the fact that there's some cool things that you can get from it, such as a diamondback rifle. So first things first, what is expedition? It's like a random generated like mission sequence type mode. The best way I could describe it is like a random well, I don't know because I haven't did multiple, but from what I've heard, it's random generated, so it's pretty much like a mini sandbox where you do a sequence of objectives that are different than usual missions, I would assume, because there were some mechanics that I never did before, which was like opening a door with like certain like cords and rewiring it in a certain sequence and stuff like that, right? Little gimmicks and stuff that a lot of people probably gonna enjoy just for a breath of fresh air. But what is it for? So there's loot to be gained. Like I said, I didn't do all of them, and I didn't do all of the options. I guess the one I did was like a first piece of like a puzzle. I don't know if it's gonna be like puzzle based or you have to find clues in order to project forward in the quote unquote story that is. But you go around collecting echoes, and it gives you different types of assignments to do. And we were just on one part, so I don't know if it's open world necessarily, but when you go into like this one building we're in, we ended up doing like 3 different missions all in one that had 3 different types of things to do, all kinds of different bosses all on one run, and we possibly could have kept going, but we ended up pulling out because we wanted to test out the meta. But for the people who are going to dive deep into this, I think it's actually really cool. Even though I don't PvE all the time, I kind of found myself like, okay, man, this is kind of different. Like, even though a lot of people might find certain things boring during PvE, it was pretty cool seeing something different. And it's not like the regular push through a mission, kill every NPC and just move forward type mission. It actually felt like there was some kind of real objective. Like for the first like 10 minutes, we were like, do we even need our guns? Like, are we just searching for loot? Like you didn't get no indicators that told you exactly where to go. You can see right here after this echo, it opens up all the doors again, and you can go different ways. We didn't even know. We were like kind of lost because it doesn't necessarily show you exactly where to go, so you kind of have to investigate, which is, I mean, obviously the point of an expedition to begin with. But it was really cool because we felt like, okay, like obviously it's supposed to be different. Obviously it's supposed to feel like, you know, you're out in the wilderness and you're kind of just going on a whim, and it started to actually feel like that. I'm sure when I dive deeper into it, there's gonna be a lot more to offer, but just off my first impression, playing it one time, I can already see the potential of, if it actually is randomly generated, which is what they claim, how much different types of scenarios you can get in, and how much loot you can have on a different experience that isn't running the same missions over and over and over. And I know people who play PvE would highly appreciate this because there's probably, I don't know, like let's say you get used to some of the patterns, and there's probably ways that you're gonna be able to speed run through this and all kinds. I can see a lot of cool things coming out of it, especially if you go through all the clues and whatever that unlocks, I guess. And from what I've heard, the bosses have a chance at dropping exotic weapons that you probably already have. So that's cool too, right? That's an incentive. I like it. I think it's something that PvE players are going to enjoy. I wasn't necessarily in the market like, oh, I need some big PvE bust drop, whatever, but I would assume that this is cool for people who do enjoy PvE, people who have their builds tailored around killing NPCs. This is something that's going to be fun for you guys, especially when you're in a group, being able to go on expeditions and trying to, you know, get different types of exotics since the loot pool's open. It's way more, how do I word this? It's way more entertaining than just running the same missions that we've been running since the beginning of the Division 2's lifespan. So obviously, one, it's honeymoon stage, right? It's new, so it's going to feel like that. But if they hold true to truly making it random, which, I mean, they already made it real good, right? With just the different types of spawns on regular missions, I can imagine what they can do with this and what kind of loopholes that they can bring in and this, that, and whatever. And the fact that there's gathering clues and having to look for echoes and stuff, it should be a different experience every time. I don't necessarily know the true intention, because I'm not a PvEer, right? So first things first, if you're on this channel, more than likely you know me through PvP. But as a PvE jump-in player, I can see the benefits of actually, you know, taking some time hanging out and doing this. I don't know if the difficulty can scale up to super high or whatever, but I can definitely see the potential in this, especially with the fact that you have to get certain pieces to unlock a revealed location of an exotic weapon. I don't know what the mechanics of that is. I'm pretty sure nobody really does yet. No, you would have had to do all of them by now, or I don't know, maybe. But the cool thing about that is I don't know if it's guaranteed, but if it shows the location of it, maybe, maybe it's an exotic that's locked behind actual content and actually having to do it. So in a way, that's kind of cool, because if it is guaranteed that way, then you have to grind, and hopefully that the difficulty spikes up for those players who want to go in to expeditions and try to find clues and trying to figure out whatever the little puzzles and sequences. Because right when we played, we ended up running into like what seemed like a puzzle with the little wiring stuff, and I was like, okay, then that's cool that they're adding different mechanics that aren't necessarily a part of other missions, and in certain type raid things, like just how the Razorback, how you have to stand on the point. There was like an iteration of that on this, and it was pretty cool, because I was like, okay, I can dig actual objectives where one person has to hold it down and protect that person while the waves come, and then you have to clear out the fires and find the little valves, and there's just a lot of different things that are actually really cool. And this is just the first level. I think there's 3 different ones, but I don't know. Like I said, we ran right into this building, and it popped up like a mission in an open world, so I didn't necessarily know if we could have kept going somewhere else and went into another building or something. But from what I see is that they have a lot of content within one building, because we spent like, I don't know, probably like 30 to 40 minutes just trying to figure out like what to do within the building. So that's pretty cool for the people who don't necessarily already, like, let's say you're one of those naysayers, I don't like this already. I think it's super soon to hate on it, because we don't know what they could possibly bring to it. As a base drop, I think it's pretty cool, and I'm not even a PvE player. I'm excited to see if there's certain benefits for both sides, both parties, as far as loot and stuff. We didn't get a whole bunch of loot, but there was a lot of opportunities, a lot of bosses and stuff that had loot drops. But I don't know what the main intention. Maybe this is like a targeted type of game mode, right? Like, let's say it's not a lucrative loot, but you can get something out of it. It's maybe some skins, or maybe like cosmetics, or maybe they can give it like that, right? Where you can get special items and stuff doing this outside of the regular game's big loot pool, because it would be, right, what incentive if there's a million different ways to get loot? They have to add something new, right? Maybe they can add some weekly cosmetics, or something that people can have an incentive to go on expeditions. And I don't know, maybe even some exclusive weapons, you know what I'm saying, that aren't exotic. I don't know, maybe certain loot pools and loot drops that are only in here. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. But as far as I can see, expeditions are really cool. It does feel like a lot of content already. Like I said, I didn't play the other 2, and I didn't fully explore. But even just running through multiple sequence on one mission felt like, man, this is actually a lot for one thing. Even though we were 2-manning it probably would have been faster if we had more people. But I still saw the potential, like, okay, there was a lot of walking space outside of this building alone, and I would hope, I'll dive into it probably tomorrow, I hope that there's multiple locations like this within the one area we're in, because then that's going to be a whole bunch of content, because then it's going to be random generated within every building, and you can choose different buildings and all that. So if anybody has went deeper into it and can explain some of the benefits of expeditions, drop it in the comments. Drop a like if you're excited for new content, period. You know what I'm saying? You don't care what it is. You can't wait to get home just to try it, because it's something new that isn't running the same mission. Especially if you're a PvEer, this is more exciting for you. I'll be talking about PvP tomorrow for my PvPers, and what are my first impressions on what is going to be the next meta, and what's strong and what's not strong. But for PvE, I think you guys should be happy. One, you guys just got the raid before this. Plus, you get expeditions. Plus, there's a new exotic. There's 2 new exotics that I know of. And obviously, probably more to come if each expedition is going to grant something. So, I don't know. It's going to be really cool. Hopefully, they add some kind of variation, like how the Invaded comes, just to make it, a little bit spicy. Which I really do see them doing. It will make 100% more sense to have that. It'll open up the floor for versatility. So, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, let me know what y'all think about expeditions, man. Is it overhyped? Is it just what you like? Have you not got a chance to get into it? Does it seem overwhelming? Does it seem underwhelming? What would you like them to add? What would you like them to take away? And yeah, honestly, if I could add one thing, I think expeditions in an open world environment like this would be really cool if you could have 8 players. Right? 8 players just running around, be able to have fun. I think that would be really cool. It would probably be hard to balance content like that, but I think another way to have 8 players running around and kind of farming like different missions, if they somehow had it where it's not instance based, and like a team of 2 can be in one place, a team of, like, spread out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That would be really cool. It will feel like you're just running into like an open world environment with all your homies and stuff. I don't know. That's just me. I think that would be cool, especially for PvEers. And you know, maybe you can have a little fun. You like, I don't know, like some PvP zones within it. I don't know, man. That's just how I think. You guys, you know, obviously I'm gonna try to throw PvP in there somehow, some way. But hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know what y'all think about expeditions. I'm gonna be running some more tomorrow on my stream, so stay tuned and hit your boy up. Drop a like, hit a comment. Let me know what y'all feel. It's been real. I love y'all. Your boy is out.